right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. Right here, we are live with Winnipeg, Manitoba's finest. That's right, we got In 2 Months right here live on the radio station airwaves. And of course, Facebook and YouTube as well. Guys, how are you doing tonight way out there in Manitoba?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Happy to be here.
Doing good. Doing good.
Hey man, that's great to hear, man. I got to say, Winnipeg is such a beautiful province, man. I have yet to actually have the opportunity to make my way out there, man. But I've heard nothing but amazing things when it comes to Winnipeg as well, man. After all, how can you go wrong, man? The Winnipeg Jets, go Jets, go! Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Proudly representing Yarsky, of course.
But I know you.
Always.
But I know you guys are busy individuals. Of course, I'm not going to keep you guys too long this Saturday night, but I got to take you back to the beginning of this amazing legendary band, because I do know you guys have been doing your thing for more than 20 years, which I got to say, a lot of bands haven't really actually lasted 20 years, so it just shows your guys' amazing bond and chemistry you guys have as a band. But looking back 20-some years ago, what is the origin story behind In 2 Months? And of course, how did you guys actually first meet and come together as one to form this killer band?
I guess I'll take the lead on this one. Yeah, it goes back. I bought my very first guitar off the other guitar player, Andy, who couldn't be here. He was working tonight. So I bought my first guitar off him, and we would kind of jam. He'd be showing me Metallica riffs and whatnot, and we always had a dream of starting a band together. It just never really materialized till about like 7-8 years later. And I kind of, he turned me on into punk. So we kind of had this dream to start a punk band, and Ryan's my little brother, so I kind of told him what he was going to do. he happily did it, but I didn't leave him much choice either. Yeah, and then we were a 4-piece for a long time, and then eventually, we went through a few lineup changes. Came to this, and we've had this 5 pieces now. I don't know. When did you join, Steve? 2011, I think, right?
Yeah, right around 2011, I believe. That'd be about right.
And, we've had this 5-piece lineup for that 5 since then.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what actually made you guys decide to actually bring it into a 5-piece? What actually made you guys decide to actually have a 5th edition to In 2 Months?
I can.
Well, I guess
question.
Yeah, do it.
It was. I mean, Andy. He's not here with us right now, but he was singing for a while, and he just kind of decided that he wanted to focus on guitar, and it was just by random chance that we ran into Steve-O. It was my wife and I. We went out to Applebee's, and Steve-O was a server at that point in time, and he happened to be serving our table, and I recognized him right away from his days with High Five Drive. Kind of asked him what they were up to at the time, and he said, "Well, we're still jamming, but I'm kind of looking to see what's out there. I'd like to be a lead singer one day." And I said, "Hey, we're looking for a lead singer," and told him to come down to a jam, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I can say that's pretty much it right there. It was kind of like towards the end of my days in High Five.
Like Drive. They always say.
Yeah, when something ends, something else great comes along, and that's exactly what happened. Got to get in with the boys. I knew they'd been doing it for a long time. Up until that point, I respected the band. A matter of fact, I was touring with High Five Drive, and we were way out in Europe, and some kids that barely spoke English were trying to ask us about In 2 Months, and it was just so funny. And then so coming home, it just made sense. And when Phipps is like, "Yeah, you want to come down and just like jam with us?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'm ride or die, like fast skate punk for life." And it was just the perfect opportunity. And it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but I guess it's been already over a decade, and yeah, it's just feels even better than it did when I got going with them.
Mhm.
Scott, you want to add something?
Definitely, man. By the sounds of it, Applebee's always brings people together, man. Applebee's always brings people together, man. You see those commercials on television, bringing families together, man. It proves it right here that they're living up to their name, man. Shout out to Applebee's.
Yeah, shout out to Applebee's. It's been a while since I've been there.
Well, I mean, you work there too, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to a place I used to work at, man. It just gives you those memories, man. Especially you kind of see how the food's cooked as well, and if you had a terrible cook at one point, you're like, man, I don't want to eat there. You never know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But also, as well, guys, in the spring of 2006, you guys actually had the opportunity to perform at the Collective Carabit, where you actually had a chance to share the stage with Steve-O and the rest of High Five Drive. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about the early days of In2Months, and of course, what you can actually recall from that show. What was it like just sharing the stage with Steve-O and the rest of the band that night?
So, who's that one directed for?
Pretty much all you guys. I mean, because I know if you guys heard it, but it said in 2006 you guys performed at the Collective Carabit alongside Steve-O and the rest of High Five Drive. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about that show, from what you guys can actually recall.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that one.
I guess I'll join in on this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the night before Andy's wedding too. So somehow his fiance at the time allowed him to play a show the night before his wedding. So I don't know how that happened, but anyway, yeah, we were big fans of High Five Drive at the time already. They were touring a bunch and really representing Winnipeg skate punk out there. So we had the opportunity to play with them, and we jumped all over it. And, yeah, I don't remember a whole lot else about that show. What about you guys?
I can't remember too much. I remember. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Scott.
That's all right.
Go ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say, I don't remember too much, but I remember us being pretty excited just to have a new frontman gig. And I think Andy felt a little bit relaxed too, that he didn't have all of the pressure of having to be the frontman and the guitar player.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I also remember him profusely thanking his wife for letting him be there. as Ray said, it was the night before his. So
I remember his father-in-law. He dragged his father-in-law, his new in-laws, to the show, and his father-in-law was actually officiating the wedding the next day. And before the ceremony conducted, he made Andy vow that he would never take his in-laws to any more future punk rock shows. It was too much for him. I don't remember who else was on that show.
Speaking of 2018, you guys had the opportunity to. My apologies on that one, guys. My apologies.
No worries.
I was going to say April 2nd of 2018, you guys actually released your follow-up record titled Sound of Speed. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story behind this album, and of course, is it actually still out there to be streamed or purchased today?
You want to take this one, Steve-O?
Yeah, for sure. Speed of Sound, absolutely. You can find it on Spotify. It's up there. In terms of like our live set these days, I would say that Speed of Sound makes up probably about 60-70% of what we're playing. And then we have a lot of new material that we're doing as well. It's actually been a minute since we've been having the opportunity to record, and yeah, that hopefully we can do that soon. But yeah, Speed of Sound is we're really happy with how it turned out. Melodic punk style, but really cool. Putting that together and helping us release that.
As well, guys, this
If
is
I can
such a
add
killer
something there,
record, man. One of my absolute favorites that you guys actually put together. Are there still hard copies available of this particular record?
I'm not sure. We still have a bunch of copies, so if anybody wants one, definitely shoot us a message either on Instagram or Facebook. We'll definitely find a way to ship one out to you. But I don't believe our first record is anywhere out there right now. We might have a limited few copies left, and again, we can ship those out too if you need one. But yeah, Speed of Sound, we still have a few of those.
We're both on Spotify as well if you want to stream it for free.
Right. Yeah.
As well, Bandcamp also has your guys' self-titled debut album as well that I believe dropped, I want to say, summer of 2015, which is another phenomenal record, man. Like, and I do know, which is just crazy to think about this, 2015, next year is going to be 10 years. Do you guys have any plans or any thoughts to kind of drop a 10th, edition of your debut self-titled record?
Never actually given that any thought, but maybe we will revisit it. I don't know. If people want, then I'd be open to it.
I know we've definitely talked about resurrecting some of the songs off of that album. It's something that we haven't played live in a while. I honestly can't remember. When do you guys think was the last time we played any of those songs? It was like it's time. But I listened to the album a couple months ago again, and I don't know. I was kind of inspired with some of the tunes that I wouldn't mind bringing back. I feel like our style has changed a little bit since we wrote that first album, and I feel like there's a bit of a difference between that one and Speed of Sound. But going back, there's some tunes that were pretty fun to play, and I wouldn't mind resurrecting some of them.
We've toyed with the idea of re-recording a few of them and just releasing them, but we're also in the process of writing new material. And the new material, me and I think all of us, is just it's a lot different now than it used to be. So it's not really the stuff we always play, but we sometimes will put out a jam and play it just to keep in the set list.
Yeah.
Also, as well, guys, February 29th at the Park
know,
Theater in
3-4
Winnipeg,
songs
Manitoba.
on that first album that I enjoy. For sure. Go ahead.
February 29th, guys, at the Park Theater in Winnipeg, Manitoba, you guys will actually be opening up for Belvedere and the Mad Caddies. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about this up-and-coming show just in a near couple weeks. And, of course, where can we actually snag ourselves some last-minute tickets if there are indeed still some available? Because I've been noticing the Mad Caddies have been selling out shows left, right, and center. So, I mean, I don't even know if there's any Winnipeg tickets left.
There's absolutely tickets left to the gig. You can reach out through the Park Theater. There's an Eventbrite link. If you live in Winnipeg or in the surrounding area, come down to the Beer Boutique at 910 Regent Avenue. Grab your tickets. Some shameless self-promotion there. So, yeah, and yeah, you can, but best way to go about it is going through the Park Theater. Check out their socials. There's actually 2 events. There's one on Friday that's sold out, but there's still plenty of tickets available for Thursday. So come out, check it out. You're going to see a good show with both the legends Belvedere and Mad Caddies, of course.
Yeah, you definitely can't go wrong with Belvedere and the Mad Caddies, man. Especially in 2 months, three amazing killer bands in one show. I mean, at the end of the day, you better get your tickets. You better get them fast. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Three killer bands one night. It makes me jealous that I'm sitting here in Ontario and I cannot be out there in Winnipeg. But I mean, I can hop in the car and drive there and make it in time. So you never know, right?
In
We'll save a
spirit, for
ticket
sure.
for you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Come on down, start driving.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. But the one thing I have to ask as well, because obviously I know you. One thing I have to ask is obviously I know you guys said you're working on brand new material as well. You're writing new material, which I got to say, as an In2Months fan, super excited just to hear that you guys are working on new stuff. But aside from the new record, you guys are currently in the beginning stages of putting together, and of course this amazing Belvedere and Mad Caddy show. What is next for In2Months? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview? Anything else you guys still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? We still got you here live on 99.9 FM.
We're mainly our focus has been on the new stuff. So we debuted three of our new songs at our last show earlier this year. So they went off pretty well, and I think that we'll be playing those, probably be playing those same three songs again. But after that, we're going to start incorporating some more new stuff into any future shows that we start playing. We currently don't have anything booked. Where our main focus will probably be finalizing those new songs and then start prepping for recording some. And yeah, maybe release a single out there every now and then. See what happens. Don't have any really concrete plans, but yeah. And then we'll be playing some more shows locally.
Indeed. Excited about the new ones for sure. I think the future is bright for 2 months. It takes a little longer than 2 months to sometimes get things going, but once we're back, it's been great. We've been in the reception locally, especially after the last show was huge. Can't wait to rip it up again with Mad Caddies and Belvedere.
And I've been pushing. I want to get back in the studio as soon as we can. So, like we said, we debuted 3 new songs at the last gig, and we have quite a few written. So hopefully we can polish those up and get another album out in the next, by the end of the year.
Obviously, guys, if we actually part ways for this evening, I know how to follow In2Months on social media, but for the individuals that are just discovering In2Months right now, how do they go about following not only you guys as a band as a whole, but you guys as individual members across all.
Well, we do have, like I mentioned earlier, we got our Facebook page. So yeah, shoot us a message there, or our Instagram as well. Instagram_band, I believe it is. So that's on Instagram, and yeah, shoot us a message on there. If you want to have any questions or whatever, you can give us a follow there. Pretty active on both pages. We're not on Twitter or whatever else is out there, Snapchat, or I don't know how to do those things. I might be a little too old for those new kid things. So, but yeah, and you can find our stuff on Bandcamp too. You can download it there if you want. And yeah, I believe all our names will be in the description links of Facebook. I don't think it's on Instagram, but yeah, if you can shoot us a personal message on those if you have any questions for each of us or want to get in touch with the band.
Yeah, for sure. We always appreciate hearing from people and what they think about the music, and we just like to get out there and play, I think, as much as possible. And now, after this short pandemic break, it's time to get back at it.
Just wanted to give a quick shout out to Brent Hart as well. I think this is actually like a really, really killer comment. He was like, "You guys always put on an amazing show, so full of energy. Having to play the same stage as the Mad Caddies is going to be a good night at Winnipeg." And just for the listeners tuning in, I want to actually bring up that comment and remind individuals to get your tickets to In2Months, Mad Caddies, and Belvedere going down on the 29th and February the right way and party within 2 months, Belvedere and the Mad Caddies. Either you get them or you most definitely will regret it.
You know it, man. Punk rock.
Yeah, thanks for the comment, Brent.
Hell yeah, man. But I got to say, guys, first and foremost, thank you so much for giving not only myself, but the radio station Airways a bit of your time. I know you guys are going to tear the roof off the venue on February 29th out there in Winnipeg, Manitoba. But guys, again, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to the new music when it does drop to the general public, when you do get everything polished and set up and actually released. Hope you guys have a phenomenal night and a great weekend, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Once the new record is out, definitely stay in touch. We can do this again.
Thanks
Absolutely.
for having us.
Cheers, man.